This is the video recording to help you with angle, side using law of sines. First of all, law of sines is sine of an angle over opposite side equals sine of an angle over opposite side equals sine of an angle over opposite side. You need a minimum of 3 pieces of information in order to find the fourth. When you are choosing how to use law of sines, again, you're going to always need an angle and the side opposite. You always have to have one of those ratios completely filled and then one additional piece of information, either an angle or a side length. We want to use law of sines when we know an angle, side. So that could be angle, side. That could be our known information. We know that a triangle adds up to 180 degrees, so we can find that third angle, and then use law of sines to find the other two sides. If, again, angle, side, angle is known, so angle, side, angle is known. Again, I can subtract from 180 to find that missing side, or the missing angle, and then I have an angle and the side opposite. Therefore, I can use law of sines. If side angle is known, again, it spells a bad word that kind of leads us to trouble. If side, let's say I know side, angle, then we lead to a problem. More fun, we'll talk about that in another video. Let's look at our first example. Again, trying to decide what's happening here. This is angle, side. Start in one spot and kind of go around either clockwise or counterclockwise. First thing we know is we can find the missing angle. Let's call this angle X. 180 degrees is how much a triangle adds up to. We already know we have 29 degrees and 121 degrees. Which is 150 degrees, which means we have 30 degrees left over for our angle. Now that we have all of our angles figured out, we can use law of sines. Again, law of sines says sine of an angle over opposite side equals sine of an angle over opposite side. Again, capital letters for the angles, lowercase letters for the sides across. So let's take into consideration the ratio that was given to us at the beginning. So sine of 29 is to 89 as, let's just call this side B. Sine of 121 is to B. From here, we're going to cross multiply to clear the fractions. We're going to isolate B by dividing both sides by sine of 29. So for the first time in a long time, we're using the calculator. So you want to get out your calculator, make sure the calculator is in degree mode, type that into the calculator, and you get an answer out of 157.36. Now we can use the same ratio to find that remaining side. Again, we're always going to start with that information that was provided for us. So sine of 29 is to 89 as sine. We calculated that last angle of 30 degrees, and we'll call that side C. Again, we're going to start by cross multiplying. Solve for C by dividing both sides by sine of 29. Type that in the calculator. and get out an answer of approximately 91.79. So when using law of sines, your first step is to find the remaining angle, and then you can find a side, rounding appropriately. Now you have all three angles, all three sides. For example 2, no diagram was provided, so we need to start by drawing in a diagram. Then we can label that. Again, I'm just going to label it as ABC. Now I can use my information to mark it on my diagram. Angle A was 20.4 degrees. Side C is 12.9 miles. It's going to be across from angle C. Angle B is 63.4 degrees. Again, we always want to remember that the capital letter and the lowercase side are across from each other. Capital letter, lowercase side. If your diagram is drawn correct, your world will be much easier. So the first thing we want to do is find the measure of angle C. We know that a triangle adds up to 180 degrees, and we know two of the three angles. So we're going to go ahead and add the two known angles and subtract those from 180 degrees. We get 96.2 degrees. So the first missing piece of our triangle is angle C at 96.2 degrees. Remember, in order to use law of sines, we need to have an angle and its side opposite. That's going to be your first ratio that you use. So that's going to be the left side of our problem. So we're going to set this up. Sine of 96.2 degrees is to 12.9 miles. As, let's solve for side A. Angle A is 20.4 degrees. From here, again, we're going to cross multiply. And solve for A. And that's what we're going to type in our calculator. Gives us an answer approximately of 4.52 miles. We want to always go back to that original ratio we started with. So we're going to go back. Sine of 96.2 is to 12.9. This time we're going to solve for side B. Again, cross multiply. Solve for B. Type in our calculator. I'm running out of room, but that gives me approximately 11.6. And now we have all of the information we needed. We started with 3 pieces of information. Then we found the missing angle. And then we found a missing side and a missing side, giving us all 6 pieces of our triangle.